Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon. I make about 100 million times less money than Von Miller, but still dress better than him perna. Today, I'm bringing you the best, the hottest, or the most irrelevant NFL news stories from the week. But first, it's time for you to make the call. At Wilkie6 from Twitter and I have identified some of the worst dressed NFLers for their post-game press conferences from week 1. Please let us know in the comments who you think is the worst dressed at the podium. Their award will be this Kanye and Lil Pump trophy. Lil Pump is also the nickname every sexual partner I have had has given to me. Lil Pump. Worst dressed? Is it Cam Newton, who fashioned a NASCAR checkered flag into a winter coat for those freezing cold Septembers in Carolina? Or Ron Rivera, who definitely loves America? He's not trying to convince ICE he's totally American and not of Puerto Rican descent with his Walmart America shirt. Look, Ron, I'm wearing Walmart too. Dak Prescott in his Dumb and Dumber tux. I actually think that one looks pretty slick. Or finally, is it Von Miller's modern twist on the OG Cowboy? Miller took this amazing photo with kicker Brandon McManus, titled it Step Brothers, but that's not the movie that makes us think of Von. I'm sorry. Again, let us know in the comments who's the worst dressed. That's Good Sports. Please, if you're new here, subscribe to this YouTube channel and click that little piece of shit notification button. I know it's a shit button, but just click it. Don't fight the system, just click the button. Also, this episode is sponsored by SquadQL, one of the best fantasy management apps out there. Download it at squadql.com. SquadQL helps you dominate your fantasy league by optimizing your lineups with the click of one button. You can manage multiple teams from multiple leagues. SquadQL factors in different scoring systems from different leagues and just manages your team for you. Fantasy football is all fun and games until you have to put in the fucking work of managing your team, so check out the SquadQL app. The number 7 story dates all the way back to Thursday Night Football. After losing a pretty dismal opener in Philly, the Atlanta Falcons caught some flack for not being able to score in the red zone, especially their 4 chances at the end of the game. Offensive coordinator Steve Sarkisian is getting blamed for not calling the Falcons' best play in the red zone, which is throw the fucking ball to Julio Jones play. That's the title, so nobody gets confused. And then, when they did call that play at the end, Matt Ryan either threw it 5 yards too high or 5 yards out of bounds. Hindsight is always 28-3 though, isn't it? Story number 6. Ryan Fitzmagic carves up the Saints. Education beats religion yet again. Everyone's favorite bearded Harvard alumni is back. And no, I'm not referring to the Unabomber Ted Kaczynski. I'm talking about Buccaneers quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick. Fitz-Magic led the Bucs to a 48-40 victory over the Saints with 417 yards passing and 5 total touchdowns. I don't know how long he's going to keep the starting job in Tampa, but random explosions like this on the field make it clear that he'll be jinxing the rest of the QB depth chart for years to come. Usually, the only quarterback worse than Ryan Fitzpatrick is the guy starting ahead of him on any given team. Story number 5, the unnecessary Monday Night Football doubleheader concluded last night. Sam Darnold threw a pick 6 on his very first throw of his NFL career, and Matthew Stafford saw that and said, "You don't try and outshine me, rookie," and quadrupled Darnold's pick total, producing 4 interceptions of his own, including a pick 6. Stafford proved he was the superior veteran by throwing far more completions to the other team. And this meme of him after the game had me LOLing in my pants. Story number 4, Jon Gruden in his ESPN pregame interview said Khalil Mack didn't want to be here.
Obviously, Khalil Mack didn't want to play here. That's what's being missed here. He was under contract, Lisa.
Which is pretty hypocritical coming from a head coach of an organization that is about to abandon the city that has supported them for decades. This high school photo of Raiders running back Marshawn Lynch was aired during Monday Night Football and immediately went viral. I haven't seen a high school class photo so talked about since Tanner Nelson snuck the bird into the 2015 class of San Dimas High School's yearbook. Tanner, you sneaky son of a bitch. That was classic. Classic Tanner. The only quarterback to not throw a pick six on Monday Night Football was Jared Goff. Marcus Peters took a ball back to the house, as they say, picking off Derek Carr late in the game. And yes, that's Peters grabbing his Peters, mimicking his real-life cousin, Marshawn Lynch. The last time I saw a grown man so unashamed to touch himself was when I shared a hotel room with Louis C.K. in Tacoma, Washington. Story number 4. Fuck. I counted them wrong again, didn't I? I want to do a top 7 episode. I better learn how to fucking count to 7. Anyway, Patrick Mahomes puts on the most overrated 4-touchdown performance in football history. The LA Chargers apparently took the team to beat in the AFC West comments a bit too literally because they got beat like a fucking drum by the Kansas City Chiefs. Tyreek Hill did what he does best, run so goddamn fast that not even his pass could catch up to him. He caught 2 touchdowns and returned a punt for another score. Patrick Mahomes threw the first 4 TD passes of his career. And if plays like this, or like this, are going to count as touchdown passes, 2013 Peyton Manning better start looking over his shoulder this season. Story 3, Andy Dalton. Oh yeah, Dalton made a story, okay? He becomes the deadliest tackling quarterback in the NFL. I'm really glad Dalton listened to my off-season advice. I suggested that he perfect his tackling this year. I was like, dude, we both know you're gonna throw a lot of picks, so you might as well be the best at preventing pick sixes. And it came in handy with all the pick sixes we saw this weekend. Like I've always said, if you're gonna suck, at least be the best at sucking. Story number 2, Titans tight end Delanie Walker is done for the season after breaking the shit out of his ankle here. Walker is of course known as the entire Tennessee Titans offense. The only thing worse than losing a 7-hour game and having to wear new uniforms that look just as unnoticeable as your old uniforms is finding out the only guy on your team who can catch passes is done for the season. Does anyone know who Tennessee's backup tight end is? It could be Will Dissly, for all I know. And finally, you've made it to the number 1 story of the week, and this is a good one. This is a story so amazing it doesn't even require a joke or a punchline, because the story itself is the punchline. From Pro Football Talk on Twitter, Jon Gruden says he'll take a good look at the reasons for his lack of a pass rush against the Rams. Gruden, you tool. You tool. And that's it. Those were your top 7 or 8 stories. I don't know. I never learn numbers. For the week in the NFL, please subscribe here on YouTube. Thank you for watching. I'm on Twitter at Brandon Perna. Will Keys, who helps me write these episodes, at WillKeys6 on Twitter. Give him some love. And we do a podcast every Thursday on my second channel, That's Good Broncos. It's called That's Good Sports Podcast. Also on iTunes, Podbean, and probably other podcast places.